Hi everyone, I'm Sam Lesante and welcome to the Schuylkill Report. I'm here with my co-host Jerry Enders and I'm glad you tuned us in. Remember, if you have any comments or any questions you'd like to talk about that's happening in Schuylkill County, it's sam@ssptv.com or you can call me 570-455-7267. We have a lot of interesting things that we'd like to discuss. Jerry, October 22nd was a sad day for Pottsville. We lost what I consider a very, very good patriot of Pottsville, and that was
Dave Clews.
Dave Clews.
Yep.
Dave,
or known as 12-volt Dave.
12-volt Dave. As we're talking, I'm going to show some clips because I like to have a little tribute to
Right.
Dave. I got to tell you, in our business, you make friends. Some of them are so-called friends, and some are phonies, etc. But when you recall, mostly you recall, going back when we started here in 1999, there were some people that believed in us. You were one of them, and so was Dave Clews and Joe Slitzer and Finelli. They believed in what we were doing.
Right.
But not only did they believe in it, they came up and they sponsored our shows. Dave Clews, as you know, was one of those people that was sincere. But here's what I liked about Dave. Dave wasn't a phony. Dave was truly in love with Pottsville.
Well, he grew up here.
Yeah, and so I knew him very differently. You knew him,
right?
Because you guys were like brothers. Okay,
right.
I knew Dave as an acquaintance, and then became a friend. And I saw what he did for Pottsville.
Right.
And forgetting about being Republican Democrat doesn't make any difference. Because I like John Riley. John was and you were very close with John as well. But Dave had a sincere interest in the people in Pottsville. Didn't you find the same thing?
Oh, absolutely. And he was involved in the basketball and the sports, and then later in years with his grandkids, he was involved. But Dave took Pottsville to heart. He and I talked about the tree lighting for Christmas, the mayor's tree lighting, and Dave at the time was president of the Pottsville Business Association, and I was in charge in the Pottsville Business Association. I created the events. I was the events chairman, have about 10, 12 events. So I remember when Christmas coming around, going to have the tree lighting, and I think, John Riley was the mayor, so he lit the tree, the mayor. I said, Dave, why don't we start a Santa parade? He said, oh, that'd be great. He said, another way we can give back to the city. So I got the red convertible and went out to Dave, of course, to his stereo shop. He put in a stereo with outside speakers. So we got a couple fire trucks, went out to the West End, Coney Island, got Santa Claus, and started a tradition of a Santa parade before the tree lighting. And in the convertible with the top down, he and I are driving, with Christmas music blaring. Here comes Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And things like that. He just loved doing for the city.
We had a lot of fun, and maybe Samuel showed the clip. Dave was like 10'6", and I'm like 5'1". So every time.
Are you really that tall?
He would, and so as we do the interview, I'd have to stand on a foot and a half, Bucks, as you recall. Now here, folks, I really didn't want this other guy to be on the show today.
Well,
okay, and let me tell you something. He gets on my nerves every time he's on the show. I mean, after the show, he may just get a couple slaps from me because he's getting on my nerves. What's your name again, Shorty?
I'm better known as 12-volt Dave.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
But you'll knock me down a few volts, won't you?
Yeah, I'll knock you. You're that guy that has that place up there on what street is it? Market?
Up on West Market Street.
West Market Street. But you guys do a great job up there. Instantly, it's amazing what you guys do with cards that I'm not even aware of it. But I kid with this guy. Every time I interview him, he's a little bit shorter than I, as you can see. But as big as he is, that's as big as his heart is, and that's what he does for the community. He gives a lot back to the community. When we do the mayor's report, I always was kidding him about cutting his hair.
Right.
And saying, okay, we're going to have a contest now. Okay,
and you were going to have me run that. I remember,
yeah, right. When he came and he just to talk to you, I know, because about becoming mayor. What was the reasons why he had said that, you guys discussed? I hate to interrupt you, but Jerry has agreed. He has agreed to be the chairman of the haircutting of Mayor Clews. He's taken over chairmanship, right?
I really, Sam, I can't really do that because that's where he gets his amazing powers from. And if we cut his hair, he might
David,
not
you
be.
got a friend here.
It wouldn't be the Sam show without there
Without
goes
that.
Dave's ponytail again.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, but
I'm very upset. I'm not only upset about you leaving, but this big fundraiser we were supposed to have with the cutting of your hair and all those children at Christmas time. I want to cry. It's just terrible. All these kids.
been waiting for this,
I mean, and we were going to have this big sponsorship, my friends, cutting of Dave's hair, raising money, and now he decides to pack it in. I hope you're happy.
I am.
What was the reasons why he had said that, you guys discussed him becoming mayor? This is what I'm talking about Dave Clews.
he just thought the city needed a new direction. And he thought, hey, Jerry, everybody knows me. We did the cruise.
Oh, yes.
12-volt Dave's. He said, I don't think I'll have a problem. And so I said, okay, you're going to run. I'm going to help you campaign. I put up probably 100 signs. And that was the biggest thing we did. He did radio shows, talked with you. And he wanted to make a difference. He wanted to, because we had a lot of problems in the city with the parking authority and with just so many different things, that code enforcement. And he just felt we needed somebody in there with another voice. Mm-hmm. And it was a shame that he was the only Republican that ran, so his hands were kind of tied.
And that frustrated him. And I could sense the frustration when I would, before we were doing the tapings.
Right.
And again, forget the Democrat Republican. But the point, he says, Sammy, he said, I'm fighting against here. He says, and it's a shame that these councilmen strictly want to be Democrats. And no matter what we do, we have to be Democrats. He said, look, we don't run a business that way, okay?
Right.
Now, this is what he was telling me, okay?
No, that's
I did
how he
not, so I cannot say that I know that for a fact, but I could sense the frustration in when he was doing that.
Well, and he would say to me when we talk, I said, Dave, why didn't you do this or that? I won't mention it.
Yeah.
He said, well, I'm trying. But they don't want to listen to it because they have their friends hired, and they don't want to have to lay off their friends or family.
That's sad.
And so they were the other party was more about hiring their friends and family than hiring people that could really do the job. And that's frustrated Dave, because one incident, and I'm going to say it right on TV here, they were going to do a hiring. They interviewed several people, and Dave was so annoyed that one councilman said, well, does he have an R or a D? Because if he's not a D, he's not getting the job. And I'm saying that publicly because I remember that moment. Dave was just so frustrated that they would even say that in a meeting.
Yeah, and despite that, despite the fact that
he still hung in there.
He still hung in there, and he was, and for him to, to leave,
yes,
he had some health problems.
Right.
I found him, as I said in the beginning of the show, that he was a true supporter and a true friend, but no, not because it was me, but because what he said, Sammy, he says, what you're bringing, and I'm not being braggadocious by no means, but I'm saying, he said, what you're bringing to this town,
right,
with local television, local information, he says that's vital for us.
Correct.
And I try to be as balanced as I can, but when I would speak off camera with him and then saw what he did for the cruise and saw what he was doing, I saw this person was not a phony. He was not one of these kind of political, hacks. He was a true person that was dedicated to the city.
And some things that you don't know. Being in the Pottsville Business Association with him and me running events, I mean, we did night out once a month in the summer. May, June, July. We did Pottsville Night Out. We had stock cars, race car. I have a picture of Dave and I crawling in the window of a race car. Yeah. And we got in, Sam. So, but we did fun stuff like that. And then Dave wanted more Christmas in Pottsville. He wanted Pottsville to be joyful and decorative for Christmas. So He went to the West End, where his business was out in West Market, and they put up a nice Christmas display welcoming people happy holidays to Pottsville. Did it with Haddisty's. They helped and got donations. Then his last big major thing he did, he ran a campaign and raised money for all new Christmas lights for the city. So, you know, the last time we did it was 20 years ago, Elaine Stein and I, and that was through the Pottsville Business Association through one of our programs. So Dave said, hey, it's time for new lights. So, but he always was doing something for the city, not for himself.
He was a true friend. He wasn't a phony. He believed in you, in the Pottsville, believed in Schuylkill County, and he will be truly missed.
Should we take a minute and run over our sponsors?
Yeah, why don't we do that? Then
Before
we'll
we bring Tom in.
Bring Tom in, okay.
And we have some new ones. But first of all, we missed it last time, but we'd like to thank Alvernia University here and Opaque Institute for their hospitality, allowing us the space. This is a fabulous place to film our show, Explore Schuylkill. So the Schuylkill Report, it's right behind us here, SSP TV. You can Google us, go on Facebook. And if your friends don't get it, have them Google ssptv.com, and they can watch all the shows.
Right.
And our sponsors, Boyer's Food Market, Falvello Law Firm, Explorer Schuylkill, Visitors Bureau, Bob Weaver Chevrolet GMC, Schuylkill Eye Care Specialist, Lehigh Valley Health Network, and your best one that you love, Vito's Coal-Fired Restaurant, where you head every day after the show. The Republican Herald Standard Speaker, and Jerry's Northeast Auto Sales on Route 61 south of Pottsville. Those sponsors help us make this happen.
Absolutely.
We want to thank you.
And I sincerely appreciate that very much. Vito's Coal Fire Pizza and Restaurant, you know, you'll see me there. You know, you can watch our all around the town. He does a great job. We can take a break. We'll be back right after this with the newly elected mayor, Tom Smith. My short friend here. Now, folks, I want you to understand I'm cheating today. You can see how I'm cheating here because I'm standing next to two giants. Okay, Shorty, before I have to beat you up. First of all, how you doing, Dave?
Good, Sam. Good. Always good to see you.
That's always a pleasure. You know, I got to tell you, I always say thank you because you were one of the first people that believed in SSP TV and local programming. You always supported us, and that goes without saying. The Lesante family appreciates that very much. Even the fact that you're so big. I mean, you know, they're killing me, folks. They're killing me. They're killing me. I'm telling you, they're killing me.
You want to stand up?
Oh, God. You know, folks, I'm really 5'7", okay? All right, listen, big boy. What's your involvement here again this year?
Well, besides being co-chairman...
Okay, that's all you know. You all know who this guy is, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm rather infamous.
Yeah. Sam Lesante. Joining me is, of course, our co-host, Jerry Enders, and now we're going to bring on our newly elected mayor in Pottsville, Tom Smith. Tom, officially congratulations.
Thank you, Sam.
Okay, the last time we talked, you were on the set with your two councilmen on the Sam Lesante show. It must have been a great victory for you. Okay, so let me ask you this. I know you're going to face a lot of challenges, okay? But going back to, we were just talking about Dave Clews, okay,
Yes.
who you knew well. And Dave had a passion for Pottsville, okay? Tell me about, you know, the reason, you know, because you have your own business and you have a lot going, you know, your wife, etc. And you know, you worked hard at what you're doing. Well, what was the reason why Tom Smith wants to become mayor and get all these headaches?
I will face some challenges. First, I'd like to thank you, though, because your show was a big help getting the word out.
You're welcome.
You know, I've been in the area for 39 years. I was told I wasn't well known by everybody, but I think you helped me get over that hurdle. I appreciate that. Why I got involved was I kept on seeing the deterioration of the streets. Just things weren't like they used to be. Like I said, I've been here 39 years. This last 8 years in the city, just the decline is rapid. The attitudes are bad, and we live in a wonderful city. Our architectural
Yes, you
features. We have so many good people working for the area. Jerry with the Visitors Bureau, so forth in the museum. I mean, there's so many great things, and the word's just not getting out. But when I found out, to pound it home again, we lost the Clews grant. That was millions a year for 30 years. That was done. And just the lackadaisical attitude of City Hall, when you go in and ask a question, you're yelled at and told to sit down and so forth. I just decided I really need to get involved. I'm very excited with the new position. I'm retired, semi-retired. I got a property manager right now, but semi-retired, and I'm going to be a full-time mayor. I'm not going to work, as my counterpart said, what do you expect? We only work one day a month. No, I'm going to be a full-time mayor.
Jerry, he got some challenges ahead of him.
Yep, and he'll face them. And the other thing here with Tom, he has some challenges ahead, but as we've seen through the campaign and through our town hall and through all our Wednesday night meetings throughout the city, his support group of professional people, citizens, the support group that he'll have going into this, and some really good professionals that have a lot invested in the city and in business. Those are the people who are going to be behind him. They're the people he's going to be sitting down with, having his roundtable discussions. Tom is already opening the door that he wants to be, involved, but he wants also input.
Tom, speaking of that, what are your current challenges that you're going to be looking?
Well, one of the current challenges we have is the city right now is that have no real grants working. That's where I come in with the YMCA used to dealing with all the legislators and bringing grants in. And I put the word out, we need to hit the ground running. We need to find money for the city, handle the blight, to add to the police force. Those are my top goals right now.
As when you were campaigning, you have two councilmen that I know that ran with you, okay,
Yes.
that are very involved in the city,
Yes.
right? So when you're looking at putting your team together, I think that's very important as to
Yes.
who you surround yourself with, okay? I think that's going to be a challenge for you, correct?
Yeah, so I think we have an excellent team put together. We have Scott Price, which is a lean, basically, lack of a better term, I'm going to screw this up, but he's like a lean engineer for Toyota. He reduces waste and redundancy for the manufacturing end of it, and he's absolutely brilliant with the math equations on streamlining the process. So that I think we're going to find that there's going to be a lot of waste that he's going to be able to reduce, and that's going to automatically help us add to the police force. John Marsh, two-time terms in the Marines, been over and saw some heat.
Yeah.
But great guy, business owner. He knows the process of what it takes to open up a business. He owns a chopping block, and he saw the hurdles that you had to overcome just to get in business when possible. And we want to streamline that. Yeah. We want to straighten that out. So we all bring our own unique attributes to that job.
You were talking about revenue before,
Yes.
okay, and that's always the key, as the Visitors Bureau and Jerry Enders with his museum and Yingling with his museum, tourism, and as you're talking about, I mean, I love the city. It's been great. It's like Hazleton to me because it's. The people here are so down to earth, and they're hardworking people, and all they want is to be treated fairly. I mean, I'd say, I think my viewers say, look, Sam, well, we want to earn what we have, but they just want to be treated fairly. And I'm hoping, what your challenge is going out there and looking at doing what you can, the streets, the police department, the fire department. What's your approach in those areas?
I'm going to get with each of the departments and work with them individually in feeling what their needs are. I've already had several conversations with Chief Morrow. We had lunch together. He let me know what his frustrations are and so forth. And there's ways to fix that. There's, one area that we weren't pursuing. There's a lot of federal money for the police force that we're not taking advantage of. We're going to pursue that. There's state funding all around. Our fire companies are fantastic. They're combining. They're doing what they have to do. But I want to learn how the city can help support them. I mean, they already get a financial boost from the state funding for the fire companies, but we need to help them more because it's a scary thing. If we don't get more young volunteers to join these forces, these fire departments, we're going to wind up having to have a paid police or fire department. And I'm going to tell you what, you want to see the tax dollars go up. So we need to figure out how we can incentivize these young men and women to come out and join the fire companies because they're fantastic. They campaign all the time. They raise all their own money. They got hard workers, but you know what? They still need help. Jerry,
we were talking about before some key businesses that are here in Pottsville, you're looking at these people, Tom, some major companies here
Yes.
that are sharp.
Yes.
You know, and if you could utilize some of their brain power, you know,
Yes.
these people who run these companies, and I'm sure they'll be more than happy to serve on some boards. These are people that started from scratch and developed multi-million-dollar companies, and
Right.
that's a tribute. I mean, I'm hoping that you're able to
Well,
tap into that.
Through the whole campaign, I sat in on every meeting with Tom, and the people that surrounded the table at those meetings are what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, I could mention some, but you got Frank Shaneman and, you know, Bud Quandle and just others, but they're all big business.
Yeah.
And they want to see change. They want to see the city thrive. Even though they don't have immediate nickel and dime businesses in the city, it's still their city.
But what they contribute.
Right.
I mean, and I'm sure there's tons of things that they've done that they don't even want the publicity on.
No,
Okay.
people don't even
Yeah,
know about.
That's right. Yeah, and I think you've seen that, haven't you,
Yeah,
Tom?
well, Jerry helped me assemble a really good, strong team, as he said. We have retired politicians. We have people in the business know, and they are more than eager to help. They want to help for years. They just haven't been invited in. So that's all going to change. We're going to pull, you know, not one person, not me, not Jerry, can have all the answers for something. So I like a multitude of people's opinions. And then we will decipher and see what we want to do, go from there. But I mean, they offer value for their opinions and their time. And they're willing to put the time in to help us out. I'm very excited about that.
Well, it's going to be an interesting challenge for you.
Yes,
you know,
it is.
I mean,
And I'm up for it.
Yeah, I know that. Jerry, when you're looking at the car cruiser is always a great thing. I hope we can go back to the old car cruiser we had.
We're gonna bring that back.
That'll be great. You know, don't have Jerry involved with it, because then I'm gonna have to do extra work. I'm telling you that right now.
But
Yeah.
there's a lot of things Tom and I talked about. The Pottsville Night Outs in the summer, May through August. That was great. That brought all the citizens downtown, gave business downtown.
Yes.
It was a Wednesday night from 6 to 9, not hard to put together, just a little common sense. Some posters out, get it on the media. Now with Facebook, we didn't have Facebook.
That's right.
When I was chairman of promotions for PBA, we had to print off stuff and give it to everybody for block captains, and hung all the stuff in the front windows. So, but if we can bring back the mayor's night out or Pottsville night out, however we want to word it, that would be a plus. And so many people had said, Jerry, whatever happened to all this stuff? You got the Brew Fest and all, but what happened to just a night out without alcohol?
Yeah.
Just out for kids.
You know, and continuing on with as we do the media here in local television, you know, one of the things we have, and hopefully we'll start here, is the mayor's report in Hazleton. And so what Mayor Cassatt does, he'll come on and explain different things that are happening. For example, they're looking at a tax increase, all right? And so we'll be doing a show, probably the same time this show is running, where he'll have his administrator, and they're going to explain exactly where this money went and why there's reason, and, you know, if you need this, if you need that. And that's where the mayor's report comes in, that the public don't have time to go to every these meetings.
Same as transparency.
Exactly, you know, and so it's just an opportunity of people in front, and then the input. I'm sure you're welcoming input, is that correct?
Absolutely. So all I can say is this from start, and Jerry and I have been saying this from the beginning. Pottsville's now open for business, and we are going to be parking friendly.
Thank God for that.
You know, I'm putting it in there, and I'm a little biased, but you're 62 and older and you're a Pottsville resident, you're going to go to City Hall, register your car, and get a sticker. You don't pay for parking anymore. That should go through without a hiccup. But yet, again, we are open for business. We're going to streamline the process to open a business in Pottsville. We got John Marsh that's going to streamline that process with zoning and so forth and getting the permits through. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen quickly. I walked the city, talked to all the shop owners, and the number one frustration is the parking authority.
Absolutely.
That's going to change.
All I can tell you, Tom, is I wish you the best.
Thank you.
As anyone who runs for office, I wish them the best. You know, you're surrounding yourself with great people, and that's
believe I am.
important. Just watch that Enders guy. I mean, he's. Anything in closing, my friend?
Well, hey, we want to, you know, wish everybody a happy holiday. We got Thanksgiving coming up here in a week, Sam. You got Christmas and a lot of good stuff going on. So are we looking at filming on the 16th?
We're looking at Christmas, December.
Yeah.
We got to do a Christmas show.
Yep, we're going to do that on the 16th, and we'll talk about a little more about Christmas and get some people in here, what's going on for the holidays. And maybe we'll get Regina and the Historic Society in. They have a lot of stuff going on.
Good. And remember, my friends, if there's anything that you'd like to see in Schuylkill County, okay, Sam at ssptv.com, and as Jerry said, all of our shows, just go to ssptv.com. When you hit there, you'll see every one of the shows we do. You'll even see some of the shows we did with your mayor. We have that Sam Lesante show up there. Tom, congratulations
Thank you.
again. Tell your councilman we said congratulations. Jerry, always nice seeing you.
Sam, great working with you again as always, being your co-host.
How's the
there.
car business? How's that Northeast?
Car business is good down there. A little slow this time of year. Very windy the past few days.
Yeah. How many years you been in the business?
Only about 52.
So my friends, so when they're buying a car from you, they know they're getting
Well,
it. They're getting
I have
it.
a lot of people, Sam, and I appreciate that. A lot of people come in. The other day, a guy was in. I said, "What do you want to take it up to Doug Ware and have him look at?" No, Jerry, you've been here that long, and you have.
Exactly.
I know so many people
Exactly.
bought from you. I don't need to take it anywhere.
And remember Bob Weaver. He's been a strong
Yep.
supporter of Bob Weaver Chevrolet at GM. Is it GMC now?
Yep, Dodge. Yep.
Yep. All right, we'll see you next time, my friends.